schedule brings us Wednesday evening volleyball here at the Henry J. Furry Complex on the campus of Gateway High School as the Gateway Gators taking on the Penn Hills Indians here on Gateway Gators Productions. Hello everyone, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Spencer Witt. Gateway off to a good start here to start the year 5-2 and 3-2 in their 2A Section 2. On the other side for Penn Hills, the Indians are 2-7 and 0-5 in conference, but this game will not matter in terms of conference. It's just more of a tune-up and a type of a match that you can try and fix the issues that you've come to. And for the Penn Hills Indians, that is something that they'll definitely look for. These two teams are familiar with each other, of course. They play in every other sport you can name for the most part, depending on the section, depending on the non-conference game. But these two teams have already squared off at Penn Hills back on March 25th. As you take a look at the starting lineups for the Gateway Gators, Darius Farrar for the Gators, Owen Echegary for the Gators, Jacob Pulowski, Keegan Kuiper, the libero, Ryan Hoffner,
number 4, Will Hansman.
Number
29, Alec Dunsmore.
The setters, Alec Dunsmore had a big impact in the last game.
Number 23, Mark DePalma.
For the Gators in the middle.
And
Chase Beam, of course, one of the setters as well for the Gators. And rounding out Chase Anthony, a defensive specialist for Gateway. And that's head coach Phil Randolph for the Gators. This team 2 years removed from winning their section for the first time in 30 years. Last year they went 10-6, 6-4, fell to Montour in the first round. One of the last teams to make it out of the section. Falling to a pretty good Montour team who had their own issues later on in the WPIAL tournament. Did not reach the championship game like they had the expectations for. But it's a new year. It's 2024, and anything can happen. We saw a South Fayette team last year that was, I believe, a 10 seed make their way, run the table, and actually make it to the WPIAL championships. So anything goes, and it's matches like this that can really build the momentum going into the later part of this season. Of course, high school volleyball ending right at early May, and we're right into the thick of it as Penn Hills, the Indians, trying to fire themselves up. An Indians team with nothing to lose and everything to gain here. Their 2 wins on the year were against Mount Lebanon, the first match of the year, 3-0 victory, 3-0 in that one on March 21st. And then on April 10th, they defeated Aquinas Academy 3-1 at Aquinas Academy. Both of those, of course, non-conference matches. It will be Gateway that will serve first here for the Gators in this match. Chase Beam to serve for Gateway. Again, change of his schedule here early this week. This game was changed from tomorrow to today due to scheduling conflicts. So if you couldn't attend in person here at the Henry J. Furry Complex, we hope you're tuning in here on Gateway Gators Productions. 7:30 start time. That was when the whistle, the horn blew, and lineups and everything have been announced. And we're underway here on Gateway Gators Productions. First serve. The libero sends this one to the outside to number 10 for Penn Hills, but that one kept alive. A really nice play, but nobody can get there. Joshua Mark had a really good dive there, the libero, to get to that ball. Second ball was just kind of bopped in the air and no one else could get there for the Indians. First point goes to the Gators, and that one going into the rafters. If you play it into your own rafters, it's a playable ball, but the problem is you got to play it off of the rafters, excuse me. That's half the battle there, as that one hits off a beam, goes awry, and point for the Gators as Beam will serve again. Speaking of Beam, into the middle. That one over the head of Kelsey Hunley, the senior middle hitter for Penn Hills. Served over again, passed up to the right side. Off the block, kept alive, good block coverage. They'll send this one over to Mark Pate. Good swing from him. Farrar, and Farrar goes cross court for the point. Lucian McCollum got a piece of it, but could not put that one back up into the air. Point for Gateway, and 4-0 as Beam will serve again. Pate will pass this one up. Outside to Pate. Pate with a good swing, and he responds. Mark Pate is going to be one of the players to watch here for the Indians. He looked really, really good, and a bright spot for this Penn Hills Indians team, especially in warm-ups. They've got a pretty solid libero as well there, as you saw a couple plays from him, number 17 for Penn Hills, Joshua Mark, only a sophomore. I believe a substitution and serve from Anthony Collins goes a little too short. Point for the Gators, 5-1. Now Gateway is having issues as to who is supposed to be in their rotation, and this is going to be an issue, yeah. Randolph will have to take a timeout. Gateway's bench has about 35 guys on there, and I only say that half jokingly, but they like to rotate a lot of players through. I don't know if there are limitations in terms of substitutions. Of course, you got to sub based on the particular player. You're not allowed to, if you subbed in once, you have to go in for that rotation spot throughout the remainder of the set, and so on and so forth, like that, normal volleyball procedures. But I don't know if they have a maximum or minimum amount of substitutions in high school volleyball. Regardless, head coach Phil Randolph, no one was certain as to who was supposed to be serving. They were arguing it was Darius Farrar. Alec Dunbar was the one with the ball. Someone else said on the bench that it's not them, even though they thought they were supposed to come in. I believe that was Will Hansman. But now they have figured it out. So a substitution, Alec Dunsmore comes out. Owen Echegary will come in to serve. Served over, passed up by Pate into the middle, tipped over by Hunley. Rolled over, a nice play, diving over. Pate will touch it over, but the Gators are on it, into the right side. The point for Darius Farrar, only one blocker. And a point for the Gators. Echegary will serve. Served over, played. Getting there into the middle. They're going to call a carry on that one. Just a little bit too much from Kelsey Hunley. Served over, back into the air. Outside to number 5. Point for the Indians. That's Calix Clark who gets the point. 7-2 now. Penn Hills, or excuse me, with the Penn Hills with the serve. 7-2 Gateway. Pate will serve. Passed up into the middle. Big swing from Mark DePalma. And the senior for the Gators in the middle gets the point. 9-2. No, correction, 8-2. It had already changed on the scoreboard. DePalma earned himself the serve. Into the middle, Hunley. Hunley with that flick of his wrist. At the net, and the Indians, that's good blocking there from Hunley. And Calix Clark on the right side. Hunley will come back to serve. Hunley serve, that's a really good serve. On a high toss. He plays that one. Kept alive again. Hunley will play it. Pate all the way back from the back row. That was a tough play on a pipe ball. Hunley plays this one again, pushed over. Outside and dropped in. Good play for the Gators. Ryan Hoffner with the point, but a really nice rally there, especially from Penn Hills. Kelsey Hunley, a middle blocker, doesn't play in the back row often, only that one rotation off the serve. Had a couple nice plays from him. And Farrar will serve. Passed up by Hunter Boyd into the middle, and that one just a bit too far. Right idea from William Barrios, a freshman for Penn Hills. Barrios just pushing that one right past that white line. Farrar will serve 10-3. Played by Pate to the right side. Clark off the block, and Calix Clark gets the point. Lucian McCollum will serve. McCollum serve. That one off of Echegaray, and Hoffner has to play it, but it goes away. It's an ace for McCollum. Lucian McCollum with an ace. McCollum will serve again. Passed up by Echegaray for Gateway into the middle. That one kept alive by McCollum. Back over for the Gators. Kuiper plays that one off the block, and a point from number 12, Ryan Hoffner, for the Gators. Served by Hoffner into the net. A service error for Hoffner. That'll bring in number 4, Nick Hepler, for the Indians to serve. Hepler with a jump serve, and he got a little too under that one. Just a little bit. Not a bad toss, just the timing on that jump versus the swing. Keegan Kuiper will come back to serve. Kuiper serve too far. They're trading points back and forth off of service errors. Twelve to 7. Penn Hills hanging around. Early in this first set, served over, passed up, overpass. Hunley with the swing on the overpass. Getting everything up there to get to that ball and falling over in the process. He gets the point. 12 to 8. Short serve from Joshua Mark, and I think Mark was looking for that 4 position that Gateway had a little bit of issues on their serve receive in the last couple of serves over there. Now Jace Beam will come back to serve. Mark passes that one up. Pipe ball from the Indians to the outside. Dunmore in the net. The point for Penn Hills. Four-point lead for Gateway, but Penn Hills, they're fighting. Anthony Collins will serve. Collins, good serve, passed up by Kuiper. Beam has to get to it. Farrar just tips it over. Played by Collins. Back outside, Pate. Pate a little too much on that, could have been out, but played regardless by Gateway. Dunmore in the net. And again, Penn Hills. Most excited bench I think I've seen this year is the Penn Hills Indians bench. It's 13 to 10 now. Another serve. This one outside the lines. from number 3, Anthony Collins. Owen Echegary will come back to serve. Junior sends that one over. A bad touch from Mark, and a point for the Gators. Now 15-10. One off of Mark again. The setter Collins will get to it to the outside. Clark kept up by Kuiper, tight on the net. Hoffner will roll it over. It's way too far. Point for the Indians. Hunter Boyd will check back in on the front row. Mark Payton in the back row now for the Indians as he serves. To the right side, Hoffner. Was that touched? Yes, it was. Could have been a double there, but they're going to give away for the Gators. In the middle, Hunley played. Never went over. Point for the Gators. Kelsey Hunley has such a strong swing. It's just it's the timing is his biggest opponent right now, but if he can figure that out, how deadly that could be in the front row. That one off of the block. And Gateway will go to the outside. Hoffner denied at the net. Kelsey Hunley on the roof. And he's fired up. He earns himself a serve. (16-12). Hunley serve into the net. Service error. He'll come out. Joshua Mark will come back in. Darius Farrar will serve. 17-12. And Farrar's serve off the fingertips. Miscue there. Lucian McCollum will come back to serve. 17-13. McCollum serve, passed up by Echegary. To the backside, Hoffner. That's too far. No touch. Point for the Indians. There is no life in this Gators team right now. They just feel like they're going through the motions, and Penn Hills has all the momentum. McCollum will serve. It's a float serve. Passed up by Kuiper. Into the middle, and they respond. For Gateway, Jacob Poloski with the point. Alec Dunsmore in the front row now. Ryan Hoffner in the back and serving. Served over, passed up by Pate to the outside. That one blocked at the net. Point for the Gators. Hoffner will serve again. Played by Collins to the right side. That's Boyd. Hoffner passes that one up. On the set, couldn't get to it. It was Jace Beam. On the set from Hansman. William Hansman, the Hansman there. Pun intended, of course. Nick Hepler will serve. 19-15. Hepler, good jump serve. Kuiper passes that one to the outside. Dunsmore, tip back over. A bad push. And William Barrios cleans it up. 19-16. Serve from Nick Hepler, and it goes right off the hand of his teammate, Mark Pate. Kuiper will serve, passed up from the libero to the outside. Pate denied at the net. Mark DePalma on the block, but they're going to call a point. A net violation, no correction. That's an interesting call there. The R2 is the one who called the net violation. And so a point for Penn Hills. Served over off the fingertips. Kuiper has to play that. And a free ball for the Indians. Passed up to the outside. Pate, good swing. That one a point for the Indians. Mark Pate. And don't look now, but it's a 2-point lead. And a timeout taken by Gateway. This is not the same team that the Gators saw back on March 25th. 20-18 score in this first set. We take a timeout. Penn Hills last year 0-10. Back in 2023. Second year for head coach Will Piccolino. Had a Post-Gazette story a couple weeks back. Piccolino, currently a student at Carlow University, a senior. And he also plays on the Carlow's team. The men's volleyball team formed back in 2021. He was a freshman for that inaugural team. Piccolino, 34 years old. Says that the oldest players he usually plays are around 24, but getting the opportunity to coach as well as play. And Penn Hills trying to work on, after last year going 0-10 in section. Pate, no one to block it, he puts it down. Mark Pate for the Indians, 20-19. And I think Piccolino might have been the most fired up person on that bench. Serve again. Served over, this one just too far from Joshua Mark, and Gateway really needed that. Served over by Bean, passed up to the outside. Pate off speed, drops it in. Smart play by Mark Pate. (21-20) here in this first set. Served over, played by the Gators to the right side. It's a point for Penn Hills. It is tied up here in this first set, 21 apiece. Serve again, that one into the net though. And now the substitutions are coming back in as Gateway is having a laugh on the other side. They have a 1-point lead. And they have Owen Echigari who will serve. Served over, passed up, good pass into the middle. Hunley off the block. That one might have went off of him. Yes, it did, so they have to roll it over. Played by the Gators to the outside. Hoffner, only one block. It's cross court, he puts it down. Someone was not in position there for Penn Hills, and they knew it. Good play by Hoffner. 23-21 now. Owen Echigari will serve. It's passed up. Into the middle, Hunley blocked, kept up, but not enough. Mark DePalma on the block for the Gators. And now, Gateway sits at set point, and Piccolino will take the timeout. Three straight points now for the Gators of Gateway. And this game is all about bragging rights. These two teams not too far away from each other, of course. Penn Hills in AAA, Gateway in AA. Only 2 levels, AAA and AA. Now again, set point for Gateway. Owen Echegary will serve. It's passed up by Pate, tight on the net. Hunley off of the block. He plays it again, and it's back over for the Gators. To the outside, off of the block. It's out of play. A good block, but just couldn't keep it in the lines. Tooling it by the Gators, and they take the first set 25-21. And Gateway, to say the least, escapes with the victory in that first set. We'll step aside real quick. We'll have the second set coming up, and at least one more after that, but it could be more with these Penn Hills Indians being feisty here on Gateway Gators Productions. Welcome back here on Gateway Gators Productions. The Gators taking the first set here against the Penn Hills Indians, 25-21, but it was a wild first set. If you're just tuning in, you missed the first. Gateway took an early lead, had double-digit lead, I believe, right at the beginning of the set. But Penn Hills came storming back and slowly but surely clawed their way back into it, and at one point it was 21 apiece. I don't believe Penn Hills ever had the lead in the set, but they had it tied at 21. But 4 straight points, for the Gators gave them the first set victory. Is served over from Penn Hills, and we're underway. Farrar off of the block, kept up, played by the setter, and then a bump over from number 17, Joshua Mark. Farrar pushes that one into the corner. Mark is there for it. Set by Collins. Pate on the outside, off of the hands. And that's going to be a net violation. Yes, it is. Jacob Poloski was pushing that one over. I don't know if they called him for a carry, but regardless, they did call him for a carry. That is the correct. He was also in the net. So point for the Indians. I believe, yes, this is their first lead of this match, but first point in the second set. Farrar off of the block, kept up. Dunmore blocked again. Farrar, how did that one get over? Collins gets to it. Pate off speed, nice dive over from Chase Bean. High into the air, played by the Indians. Collins to the backside. Big swing from Calix Clark, but played. Dunsmore, too far. Was a net violation. Yes, there was. A point for Gateway. Kelsey Hunley into the net. I saw it move as that ball went by. Gateway gets a point. Not allowed to play that one on the other side of the referee. Used to be able to go over there and bring it back, but not anymore in high school volleyball. Point for Gateway off the ace from Darius Farrar. And Farrar will serve again. Served over, played by Pate. Collins to the right side, Clark, or to the outside, excuse me, Clark. This one in the middle, Pate kept alive. And Hunley's just got to close his hands there. Right idea to react to it, but a lift call on Hunley and the Indians, 3-1. Served over. Collins has to get to that one. Pate, high into the air, played by Kuiper. Into the middle. Nice dig from Collins, but bad touch from Pate, and a point for the Gators. 4-1. Gateway looking a lot like the first set, at least the beginning of it. Farrar, that one over. Hunley gets the point. Kelsey Hunley for Penn Hills. He has that motion where it looks like he's throwing it, but he's just getting up there so high enough and just has such a quick swing on it that the ball just stays with him and he pushes it over. It's more of a push than a throw. I know that's kind of weird in context to argue the difference, but Hunley again slaps at that one and he gets the point. Kelsey Hunley for Penn Hills. The R1 is talking to Jace Beam about something. Something was said. I believe the ref was more issuing a warning. Beam outside to Hoffner. That one goes cross, and I don't know how Ryan Hoffner got that point. He's laughing it off. That's not where he wanted that ball to go. And he got the benefit of hitting the tape and just dropping in. Nothing Penn Hills could do there. Tough play. But a point for Gateway. Keegan Kuiper will serve. Played in the air. Collins into the middle to Hunley. Hunley gets the point. Kelsey Hunley earns himself the serve and back for the Indians. He's got 3 kills in this second set. Hunley serve again, a really good one. It's an overpass, and now Penn Hills will play this. Clark, cross court, played by Beam. Someone has to get to that title in net. Who was it touched by last? That should be Gateway, yes it is. Tough play from Calix Clark there. He was going up for the ball. Spins off his fingertips and it hits the antenna. Should he have played that? Was it going to go out? Was it going to be touched by Gateway? Hindsight's 20/20. And a point for the Gators. And served over, passed up. Title in net, put back over on the overpass. A net violation's the call anyway, but Jace Beam cleaning it up. Thomas Naku will serve. The junior for Gateway. Serves this one over, passed up by Pate. Collins will get to it to the outside. That one cross court and kept up by Chase Anthony, but nobody can get there for the Gators. Point for Penn Hills. Off the swing of number 22 for Penn Hills, William Barrios. McCollum will serve. McCollum serve, played by Anthony. Into the middle. That one outside the lines, no touch. From the swing of number 35, Jake Santo. First action in this set. Had a huge match a couple weeks back against Armstrong. That one drops over. And did McCollum set up this net? Because you're not going to get a more favorable bounce than that one for Lucian McCollum. Ace for McCollum, and it's tied up at 7. McCollum serve again, pass by Kuiper to the right side. Hoffner, only one blocker, and Hoffner puts it down. Barriers bit on the setter. Couldn't get back for McCollum or for Hoffner. Ryan Hoffner, who is staying for one, recognizes it. A point for the Gators is Owen Echegary will come back to serve. Echegary serve, passed up by Pate. McCollum will set this one. Collins will tip it over. Barrios will flick that one over himself. Into the middle, Santos drops it in. Smart placement from Jake Santos, for the Gators. Barrios tying his shoe, and Echegary will be able to serve. Chigari's serve into the net, service error. 9-8. Dylan Bishop will come back to serve for Penn Hills. Bishop, a good serve, passed up by Kuiper to the outside. Farrar off of the block. They couldn't get to that one. Muscling that one through for the Gators, and Santo back to serve. Santo, float serve, passed up. Into the middle, Barrios, off of the block, but he's denied by Jacob Poloski. That one way too far from Santo. Served over, into the air, tight on the net, one-handed set, tipped over, but kept up to the outside. Pate down the line, he gets the point. Nice swing from Mark Pate. The outside, Farrar tips it over. Served over, passed up by Pate to the outside. Back to him. Got out of that one. Point for the Gators. Served over, played by Bishop to the middle for Hunley. Hunley, too much of a swing on that one. And a point for Gators. Jace Beam will be back to serve. Played by Bishop again. That one, McCollum gets to it. He gets it over. Hunley in too much on that one. He wanted it. He got his hand in the net too. I don't blame him. As I'm playing as a middle, I mean, when the ball's right there, your eyes just get so wide when you see that one. Just too much on it. Bishop, that one played again. To the outside, Pate off speed, played by Poloski. Dunmore, played by Bishop. They send that one out. Someone's got to get there. Pate does. It hit off the roof. Into the middle. That's a nice swing from Jacob Poloski. Poloski cutting that one to his right. A timeout taken by Penn Hills. So a timeout, 16-10. Here in this second set. Thank you again for tuning in here on Gateway Gators Productions. Have access to a plethora of Gateway Gators games and matches here all school year long for spring sports. In the height of play, where teams are pretty much playing twice a week and practicing at least 2 times a week as well, maybe sometimes even 3, and some tournaments on Saturdays as well. Served over, 16-10 to the outside, Pate, and that one dropped in. I like the idea by Mark Pate, but I think he got a swing there. I think they've expected the tips. This one played again by Bishop. That will be pushed over. I don't know how Penn Hills got that one over, but they did. To the right side, Dunmore off the block, and it goes into the stands, and Alec Dunsmore with the point. Might have went off the dome of Mark Pate there. Served over, played again by Bishop. They can't get this ball to the setter. That's their big problem right now. Hunley will play that. Played again by McCollum. Pate, Farrar is there for it. Back out to Darius Farrar. Blocked down! Kelsey Hunley and Anthony Collins were both there for the block. Collins has earned himself the serve. Is that one played by Echegari, and he gets the ace. It's been a night to forget for Owen Echegari, who's had a couple of aces on him. And they're going to keep serving that way if they can. Does Will Piccolino put up any fingers as to where to serve to? Regardless, it's served over Echegari again. That one played by Farrar. Nice play to get to that one. And Penn Hills will continue. Hunley kept alive again by Beam. At the net, that one's a point for the Gators. What a play from Darius Farrar to get to it. Bailing out the Gators and keeping the play alive. Darius Farrar will serve for the Gators. 19-12 here in this second set. That one played. Pate's got to get to it. He does, but he's underneath the net. Got a foot under. You can put your foot on the line, but once it crosses it, that's where they're going to call it. Although the R2 and R1 are talking with each other. Maybe the argument, I don't know the official rulings, but maybe the argument is it's not a situation that deems an issue. And I think that's what they're going to argue for Penn Hills, is that as long as his foot had just a little bit on the black there and there was no players in the area for Gateway, they're not going to call the point. They don't. It's a replay, and it's 19-12 again, and the ball don't lie if you're the Indians. Now 19-13. Bishop comes out. Hunter Boyd back in the front row for the Indians. Mark Pate will serve. Passed up into the middle, blocked. And Hunley gets the solo block. 6'4" Kelsey Hunley, committed to play football at Richmond this coming fall. A couple offers from Georgetown, Duquesne as well, and Bryant playing for the Spiders. That one off of the block. It stays on the side of Penn Hills, though. And a point for the Gators. Served, played to the right side. Clark kept up. Clark plays that one, and they're going to call a lift. All Clark has to do is just close his hands there if he wants to try and swing up in the air. But again, trying to get it out of the way of Hunley is a tough task within itself. That one off of the block, kept up though. Kuiper will play it. Hoffner off speed. Played again, Clark, joust at the net. Someone else has got to get there because Hunley plays it, couldn't get to it. And a point for the Gators. Kuiper Clark, Hunley. Back in the air from Kuiper. Beam will set that one. Hoffner. Nice pass from Pate. Collins. Pate will get to that one. Tip it over. Anthony. Kuiper. Hoffner. Blocked. Kept up by Kuiper. Nice block coverage from Keegan Kuiper. Dunsmore on the right side. That one's played by Mark. Clark. And a shot in the dark. But it's a touch call. Correction. And literally a shot in the dark requesting for the touch. They get it. And a point for the Indians. Kelsey Hunley will serve. Hunley serve a little too far. (23-15). Thomas Naku will serve. Naku's serve, played by Mark Collins. That one sent over from Boyd. Down for the Gators, Jace Bean for Gateway. Set point for Gateway. Naku's serve, played by Mark. Collins has to get to it. Mark will touch it over. Back in the air from Anthony. Into the middle. Santo, too far, no touch. Point for the Indians. And the heart monitor is still beating for the team in red here in this second set. Lucian McCollum will serve. McCollum serve just off the tape. It's over, it's out. And a point for Penn Hills. McCollum serve. They're not going to touch that one. And a point for the Gators. Service error ends the second set 25-17. The Gators looking to sweep here in the third set. Sweep the match. Penn Hills looking to fight back and force a fourth set. We'll step aside when we come back. Third set is guaranteed. What will happen after that, we'll just have to find out here in this next set here on Gateway Gators Productions. Back underway here in the third set is the Gators. Serving first off of the block, kept up. McCollum will get to it. Pate. Passed up by Kuiper. Into the middle. McCollum gets to that one. Second ball from Mark. Pate. And Pate gets the point. First point goes to the Indians. Back-to-back sets now that they've scored the first point. The problem for the Indians last set was they got on too tall of a task to take on. It was the Gators who ran away at the beginning of the set. They didn't have that magical first run that they had last time. They're going to call 4 touches on Penn Hills, on Calix Clark. And so it was just too much to take on in that second set. They fought back, made it respectable 25-17, but got to take it 1 point at a time, and you got to hang around with this Gators team, because if you can hang around with them, they can get frustration. You saw it in that first set, but frustration coming out from Ryan Hoffner as he puts a lot of force into that one and puts it down for the point. The Gators will serve. That one's played. A couple people were calling it out, but right idea from Nick Hepler to play it. To play it. Collins will play that one. Mark on the second ball. Pate blocked, kept up by Hundley. Hoffner off of the block. It stays on the Gateway side. Played by Beam. Farrar. That could have been a double. They don't call it. To the outside. Pate. Pate with the swing. Kept up again. Pushed over. Collins plays it. Mark on the second ball. Pate in the outside. Blocked down by the Gators. The R1 is going to talk to Mark Pate, senior outside hitter for the Indians. There was something that he said in frustration, and he was right next to the ref. So the ref actually went into his pocket. I think he was going to pull out a card, but let it go. Good play by the ref to let that one happen as Clark swung and missed with that one. That's a good set, too, from Collins. Four to 1, Gateway. Penn Hills needs a side out, but Farrar will continue to serve. Pate just touched over. That one off the block, and oh, watch out over on the bench. The swing from Alec Dunsmore, and a point for the Gators, and 5 to 1. Served over from Farrar, passed up. Hundley into the middle. That one's in. Nice swing from Kelsey Hundley. Puts it in the corner. Hunter Boyd will come in to serve. Served over. Passed up. That one over. Hundley plays it. Kuiper has to go get it off of the block coverage. Tight of the net. Nice play from Mark, but outside the lines. He knows it was a valiant effort. He can't get mad at that. Served over, passed up. In the middle, Hundley off the block, kept up though. That's Santo there. They go back to Santo. That was not touched by Penn Hills. 4 touches, point for the Indians. Hundley serve. Too strong on that one. William Hansman will serve. Served over, it's a short serve. Pate will play it, and back over for Gateway. Sent over on 2, nice play by the Indians to keep that alive. Back over for the Gators. Beam, Pate's right there for it. Someone's in the net, and it was number 2 for Penn Hills, Hunter Boyd. Barrios thought it was himself at first. He was wondering about the call. Thought it was a bad call, but didn't realize that Boyd was in the net himself. Hansman will serve. It's outside the lines. Good eye. But Penn Hills let that one go. Clark comes out. And Lucian McCollum will come in to serve. McCollum, left-handed serve, passed up by Kuiper. Hansman has to get to it, to the outside. Pate's right there for it. And Mark sends it over. Free ball for Gators. In the middle, Santo puts it down. Jake Santo with a quick one and a quick point. Etchegari will come back to serve. The defensive specialist will serve this one over. Passed up by Pate. In the middle, Barrios off the block. And that rolls. Just an unfortunate roll for the Gators, but a fortunate one for Penn Hills as William Barrios. The freshman gets the point. Always impressive when a freshman getting points in a varsity level match. In the middle, Santo, that one too far, no touch. Point for Penn Hills. Santo couldn't put that one down. Set was, I think he wanted to set a little higher. Served over, just too far for Nick Hepler. Santos serve, pass by Pate. Back outside to him, off the swing, kept alive. Barrios plays it twice. Tried to get it over, couldn't do it. And a point for Penn Hills. Good block coverage though from the Indians. Served over, off the fingertips, and an ace for Jake Santo. Santo, the quick serve, pass by Pate. They go to the right side, Collins. Collins gets it over, Farrar plays it, back to Hansman. Farrar again, off speed from Darius Farrar, and they get the point. Timeout taken by Will Piccolino. Piccolino's got to rally his troops here as it's do or die in this set for the Penn Hills Indians. We'll talk real quick again, mentioning this is a non-conference matchup here. And for Penn Hills, real quick, we'll just run through their schedule. Take on Central Catholic on April 25th. They're at Hempfield April 30th against McKeesport. Non-section matchup on the 1st of May. 2nd of May at Penn Trafford. Home against Norwin on May 7th. May 8th, they take on Obama Academy, non-district matchup. And their final match on May 9th against Plum for the Penn Hills Indians. For the Gators, we'll talk about that next break, but Jake Santo will serve. That one too far, good call. Good eye from Mark to let that one go. Barrios comes out, Hunley comes in. Mark on the serve, the libero. To the outside, played by Mark. McCollum gets to it. Pate pushes it over. Passed up by Hansman. Beam, Farrar. Farrar gets the point. Darius Farrar for the Gators. Alec Dunsmore back in for the Gators along with Thomas Naku. Served over in the air, McCollum to the outside, not touched. They went over to Hunley for one. Naku serve, played by Pate. That one touched over again, Kuiper's there for it. To the backside, Dunsmore, one block, and that was Pate. But back over for Gateway. Farrar, that one out, no touch, good call. Farrar thought there was a touch on that one. It was definitely bounced out. The matrix level moves there from the Indians. Nick Hepler getting out of the way of that one. Anthony Collins with the serve. Tight of the net for Naku. Joust and then back over. Farrar. And that's going to be a back row attack for Farrar. Served again from Collins. The outside Dunsmore. Dunsmore puts it down. Alec Dunsmore for the Gators. Hoffner checks out. Or Hoffner checks in, excuse me. Played by Hunley. And Pate, that's going to be a tough angle on him. Collins just got to let that one back into the air. Really hard to bump set a ball backwards. It shows there just the inaccuracy from it. Darius Farrar will serve 17-9. Served over, passed up by Mark Collins. To the outside, Clark. Good swing from Calix Clark. He gets the point. Calix Clark, only a sophomore for Penn Hills, and swings like that really benefit and impact his team in the future. So I think he had playing the right side. I don't think he's as used to playing as a right side hitter as he is in the outside. And kept up. That one's over. Hoffner kept alive from Collins and Pate, and sent over from Mark Kuiper. That one hits the antenna off, or hits the roof, and Hoffner, nothing he can do with that one. 17-11. A run here for Penn Hills could really make this set interesting. 17-11 Hoffner. Denied at the net, but it's on the side of Penn Hills. Calix Clark tried all he could to block that one, but just on his side. A point for the point for the Gators, and a block for the Gators again. Santo and Dunsmore on the block there. Keegan Kuiper serve. That one off of Pate, and he plays it backwards. Tough swing from Mark Pate. 20-11 now. The lead is 9 here in this third set. Kuiper in the air from Mark. Off the fingertips. Hunley pushed down. Played again by the Gators. Clark back up from Hoffner. Back outside to Hoffner, off speed. And we've got a net violation on Calix Clark, and a point for the Gators. Gateway serve. Keegan Kuiper gets the ace. 22-11. Kuiper the serve. Joshua Mark lets that one go. He comes out. Barrios comes in, is thunder rattling through the event center here. William J. Furry Complex. Of course, thunderstorms in the forecast here in Monroeville, Pennsylvania. Just served over, 23-12, played. Pate, a swing from the back row. Nice swing from Mark Pate. Take a look. Partly cloudy, 77 degrees, but thought the rain was coming. McCollum will serve. It's 23-13. That one too far, and the rain is definitely here based on the radar. And when it rains, it pours right now for the Penn Hills Indians. After a impressive start from the first set, the resilience from that team, battling in the third, it was just too much, but there's too much here in this third set, battling in the second. Passed up, Pate into the net, and that will do it. In a non-conference matchup, the Gators get the win. A 3-0 victory for Gateway, 25-21, 25-17, and 25-13. Gateway moves to 6-2, still 3-2 in section. Penn Hills drops to 2-8, and still 0-5 in the section. But credit where credit is due to Will Piccolino and the Penn Hills Indians, a team that went winless last year. They look a lot more improved this year, and there's a lot of players on that team that are younger, sophomores and freshmen that can make an impact next year and for the most part for the rest of this season. Wouldn't be surprised to see them stealing a victory from one of these teams in their section. That'll be all she wrote here in this one. For our entire broadcasting crew, for our producer Adam Guskey, our director Lee Schaefer, for the Guskey and Schaefer family, I'm Spencer Witt saying so long, and thank you again for tuning in here on Gateway Gators Productions. Good night, everyone.